Happy Easter! We are here to show up. This is a completely, not completely different, but me and Queen B, my accountability partner here, still wanting to show up with for you every Saturday. I know everybody's celebrating and reflecting times because this is Easter weekend, but at the same time, we also wanted to show up to remind you on um, this Easter, what do you reflect about? Miss Easter means the beginning. It's your beginning. I have seen on one of my feed, it says there's so many things that can happen in just 1 week. I'm not sure because everybody, one of us is actually different on celebrating Easter, right? But for us Catholic, of course, within this 7 days, it started Monday, wherein we welcome Jesus Christ. We have the Palm Sunday, and then second, until the Friday, the crucifixion. There's so many things that could happen in just 1 week if you could realize that. So this is the time for you to reflect, even no matter how much work you are doing, and it feels like nothing is coming up, you don't see the result that you are wanting. It's time to reflect and always remember that it is a test of your faith. How long, how much do you want this? How much faith you are giving. You know, that is one of the problem with me on starting this online business. I always doubted myself. Every time I make a post and then after that, I'm going to question myself, is that right that I shared that post? Is that, once you put it out there, you let it go. That is what one of the things that I have learned on this business. Let it go because at that time that you had that idea, it's the right decision at that moment. So
Mm.
don't regret anything that you are doing because you are do at that moment you are doing what's best for you. Hi, Balkisu.
Hi. Oh, it's great indeed. Why are we celebrating Easter? Easter just reminds us that it's always a process, right? And when you talk about letting go, we have the saying, say, let go and let God.
Yes, let go and let
Let
God. That's right.
go and let God. Um, Nothing is perfect for sure, and we definitely understand that in life. And that's just as you're saying, sometimes you get so overwhelmed and you're thinking, am I doing the right thing? And is this what I am meant to do? Is this really working for me? At the end of the day, whatever is laid in your spirit, you have to adhere to that, listen to it, um, and take the necessary steps and be obedient to it, right? At this moment, we have, as you mentioned, we have a business for sure that we are all working on, and sometimes we are thinking and we're reflecting and asking, is this all there is? Am I doing the right thing? And am I supposed to do something differently? But absolutely, we have I always say that gut feeling, it never fails.
Yes, I know,
We,
right?
yeah,
Me,
it never
I just,
fails.
yeah, I just always pray because me, the problem with me is I worry too much.
Mm,
You are worrying too much on the things that never happen or it might not happen.
yeah.
So that is, again, it's a process. It's a
Hmm.
process that you have to go to. So for me, that a kind of person who worry too much, I need to process that thought that let go and let God, like you mentioned,
Let
right?
go and let God.
Let go and let God. Yes. And you know what? I was having a conversation with one of the digital business owner. Of course, she's not seeing result yet. And that feels her so much down because, you're trying to put your effort in there, but it feels not working. You question yourself. And she even mentioned to me, I don't know where to get the customer. Really. And this is the thing where I read that if God show you the vision, if God show you the business, don't worry on where you're going to get the customer because God will give
Absolutely.
you. the customer. I
Yes.
don't know if you I don't know if you remember one of our top earner here on the community as well. She's a real estate in industry, and one of the highest earner, the seven-figure income earner, is eating at the same restaurant as her. They're looking to buy a property, and they have heard her that she is on the real estate industry, so they talk to her. So as a estate agent, she needs to get some requirements from this person.
Hmm.
When they submitted, she's seen how much earnings they are getting. So the real estate agent asked her, "What do you do?" And she said, "I am an online business owner. I am an affiliate. I don't have any product. I only do the promotion, the marketing part." And then from there on, she looked into the business and said, "I'm going to do this as well." She's a retired now. I think she has two businesses in the Philippines, was able to provide for her sick father and the hospitalization, the medication. She was able to provide that. She was able to have scholarship for her nephew and nieces. And she has multiple property here in Canada too because of the digital business. And it's
It changes
the
lives.
right.
It's just, I always say, it's a the only thing that is stopping somebody from proceeding or from succeeding, you
Mm,
yourself. You know, I like to say this. I say sometimes we are our own obstacles to success. We are. And sometimes it just takes one decision to make things change. And we are asking and we are praying and we're searching. And yet, when opportunities are laid in front of us, we're asking again, let me pray about it. God has laid it in front of you. God is actually waiting for you to now take action, because you can never move the mountain with no faith. He said, if your faith
mm,
is as small as as a mustard seed, you're able to move the mountain. That means it requires action. The only thing that we are promised that doesn't require action is salvation. It was given to us freely as a gift. Everything else, for any blessings that we are supposed to get, requires action, requires certain steps to be
yes,
taken. So it is
yes.
left to us as individuals when we see opportunities like ours that is changing the lives of so many people. I just posted this morning, this lady that has been in the business for 5 years and working as a or 6 years, I believe, but not working as a full time business owner and a mom. And she's showing the checks that she's received, because it's not just all about the money, it's about the flexibility that it makes possible. She's able to spend quality time with her kids and enjoy those milestone moments and able to give back to what the kids want from her as a mom. So, what are we looking for? At the end of the day, we want that community. At the end of the day, we want to be able to provide for our kids. At the end of the day, we want that quality connection, that bonding with our family and our loved ones. If you find a business that gives you that opportunity to do both, you earn as well as being able to provide yourself and give yourself in service to your family, why not?
Yeah, you're
Why not?
right. You're right.
So for those
You're
that are
right.
hanging on the fence, you've been seeing us, you've been thinking, you know what, I'm in doubt. I don't know if I want to step out in faith. I want to do this. I don't know if this is right for me. You've been praying. God doesn't come down himself and say, hello, here I am. No, he sends people. And it could be people like me and like Melissa or anybody else that you might see somewhere, either in person or through social media. So we encourage you, if you want to know more about what we do, this is a day, it's a process. This is a day for you to take action. This is a day for you to go get that information. This is a day for you to flip that page and write your own story. This is a day to change the trajectory of your life. Be the author of your own story. Many people have been writing your story. Flip the page and start writing yours. And that starts today by registering for free information on any one of our websites.
Yeah, that's right. And always remember too that um if you're always on strategy, business strategy, all these skills, without faith, it's nothing. So business, always put God in every business or anything that you do. If it is personal business, always have faith because that will shape you and that is part of your success. Also try to learn um loving failure because again, that is part of your success. So I yeah, that's only for me. Accept failure, learn how to love failure because it's part of your story. Like you said,
Absolutely.
right? You will become
Absolutely.
the testimony of of what you are currently doing. You will become an inspiration to those people who are actually wanted to start as well, but
Mhm.
they just afraid to do so. Be
Yeah.
that testimony.
Yeah. There is no test. I like what you're saying here. There's no testimony without a test.
Yes. Oh my God.
There's,
Hey,
there's
you
something.
mentioned that. You
Yeah.
mentioned that without a test, right? There's no without a test. There's no
Yeah.
testimony without a test. Are you familiar with the story of the lotus flower and the mud?
Tell me.
The lotus flower or the lotus plant, they need mud in order to like bloom, in
Hmm.
order to show the flower.
Hmm.
So meaning we really have to have that mud in our life in order for us to show our growth either financially or personal. You
What an
know,
analogy.
the mud
I
should be
love that.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go through the grind, you go through all of that, and you come out on the other side.
Yep.
No
Yep.
one,
You're
no
right.
one said that life was going to be perfect. What did it say? What God promises us? It wasn't going to be a bed of roses, but what God promises us is that He will see us through. You know, He will
Yep.
see us through.
That's
So
right.
if you're someone who it's, I can't believe this. It's a quarter into the year already, and some of
Oh
you said, I
yes.
know it's April, 4 months gone. And
Yeah.
some
It's
people are saying,
crazy,
okay,
right?
I'm making a decision, I'm making a decision. By the end of December, you're still where you were last year. You're still stuck. You're still stuck. We have um we have this thing, like the kids play with it, the Play-Doh, right? In Sierra Leone, for my country Salon people, we call them plasticine. You know, when after you've molded it and you put it, sometimes it gets stuck onto the surface that you're
Yeah.
molding it on,
Yes.
and you have
Yes.
to kind of like scrape and scrape and scrape to pull it up, or roll and roll and roll. And that is
Yeah.
that is part of life, right? Sometimes we are stuck and we have to take drastic decision in order to elevate ourselves. And that drastic decision might be an investment. That drastic decision might have to take away some people that do not add value to our lives. Whatever it is, you have to take that drastic decision to make you a better version of yourself, to make you become who you're meant to become. So if you've been hanging on the fence and you're wondering, what am I doing with my life? I have two, three jobs, and yet still I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And my kids, I don't have time for my kids. For those, I'm talking to the parents. For older people, I don't even have time for myself. I come from one job to another just so that I can pay the bills and pay for a mortgage for a house that I do not sleep in. So I ask you, what's holding you back? It's going to be a sacrifice. This is tough love. It's going to be a sacrifice, and that sacrifice begins with you and the decisions that you make today. They say, whatever decision that you make, there is a consequence. If you make no decision, it's a decision in itself. So the ball is in your court. And I ask you that is watching, and whoever you know that this is going to be vital to or will be a benefit to, share it with them. We're not here to record people, but I'm here, or we are here, Melissa and I, to jog you out of that stuck mentality and believe that you're meant for more. So at the end of the day, you look back at your life. It was because of those two ladies that I was able to make the decision that changed the trajectory of my life. So go ahead, register for that free information. Get the details that you need, either on my website or Melissa's website, so that you can start writing a new story for yourself and for your family. Step out in faith.
That's a perfect one. Step out in faith.
Step
Seriously.
out in faith.
I really loved it. The title of our podcast, Step Out in Faith. Have faith. And like you mentioned, believe that you deserve more.
Absolutely. You deserve more. So until next week, we want to hear testimonies. There's no testimony without a test. Testimony as to what you did for yourself that took you to the other side, so that you can be a blessing not to only to you, but to your loved ones and to humanity as a whole. So until next time, God bless you. Share this with as many people as you can. We love you and see you next week.
Happy Easter, everyone.